Hello there. So, sometime recently you've gotten the information or the suspicion or the concern that someone in your family, someone you love, is facing something that may be kind of serious from a mental illness or mental health or psychological perspective. And you know what I thought? I thought it would be great for us to take a look and have a conversation very quickly about what are the kind of first steps that need to be taken when something like this comes out. And so let me introduce myself. My name is Chris Legg. I'm an LPC supervisor and the owner of Aletheia Family Counseling Center here in Tyler, Texas, and around other places. I've been working with issues like these for about 25 years and thought it might help for you to know in this time, what are some next steps that you can take? It's easy to panic. It's easy to let fear take over. It's easy to let doubt kind of rule the day. And none of those are the best options. So what we're going to do is we're going to take some time and I'll record some more videos to be attached to this to connect to some of the specific things that we may face as parents, as spouses, as loved ones, and just a very quick look at what are some first steps before we react, before we overreact or underreact. What are some first steps we need to do? So, because some considerations, always a good idea is to listen and listen well. Listen to the professionals, listen to your friends, listen to the person who you're talking to, that loved one, that kid, that teenager. So listen well and don't panic. You're not the first person to face this. You're not the first family to face whatever this is. And so there's no reason to panic. There are ways to deal with all of these different things, and there are proven ways that really can help. And so we're just going to look at some of the very basic first steps with each of these different headings. Not going to have an hour of time here. You're not going to have to listen very long. But just to kind of stave off that initial sense of fear or frustration or anger or denial or the different things that we face there. So keep in mind, it's never necessary for a parent to help their child, for a loved one to help someone ruin their lives or destroy their lives. So that's going to be a guideline that as you're engaging with this, remember, it's okay to love people, even people who are hurt or people who are addicted or people who face these challenges. And it's okay to do so in a way that draws healthy boundaries. Primarily, I'm going to be talking to you as under the assumption that you're a Christian family who loves one another. And no one does that perfectly. Everyone messes that up, that you love your kids, you love your teenager, you love your spouse. And so as you're engaging with these questions, don't forget to pray. Don't forget to be still. And remember that there is a God. Things don't spin out of his control, even when they seem like they have spun out of control, and they certainly do spin out of our control all the time. So, and also I would encourage you, take some time, and this may take some time, to evaluate your family system. Are there stressors that can be reduced? Are there patterns or habits or things like that going on that it'd be a good idea to really stop and get some help and dig into, not just with the individual who is presenting with these issues, but in fact, the whole family system to look at it. Normally, we're a product of the whole system. Where are we engaging in these different things, and how are we engaging with them? And then we're going to look at some next steps, how to get help, how to find the right kind of help, medical help, counseling help, community help, and to reach out to those who are around us. So, with that being said, I'm going to start jumping into some of the different headings. And you probably clicked on that heading to get this introduction and then the part that's going to follow. And I hope these things are helpful for you. So here we go. All right, so the thing that you're looking for some help on is that you've got some concerns about a family member who may have an eating disorder. Eating disorders are very complex. They're difficult even for professionals to engage with. And so you certainly are going to want to involve a professional, a counselor and or a doctor and or a dietitian in this conversation as well. These are, and probably, honestly, probably all of those at some point. There's no simple answer. And so if you're going to a simple answer, then it's probably not the right one. If you're thinking, well, we just need to clamp down on them and control their eating, or we need to monitor them way more closely, or to suddenly try to control the situation, that's almost always going to be the wrong initial solution. There are ways that professionals can guide that, or that they can work through that conversation. Understanding is going to be hugely important, and especially for the parent. It's really difficult for the parent to get put into the role of the bad guy or the therapist and especially in regards to an eating disorder. So you want to avoid that. You want to be able to be on their side. You want to be able to encourage them. You want to be able to listen. Again, listen a lot. Listening is always going to be one of the key things to having a family member who's facing a psychological issue like an eating disorder. There's kind of two basic directions that eating disorders go. There are the binging and the purging order, whether it's people eat a lot and then they over-exercise or they force themselves to vomit or things like that. That's one side. The other side is just the radical reduction of food and calories and the extraordinary burning of those calories. Both have their own dangers. They are things that have to be taken seriously. Eating disorders aren't just, they can't be treated as just a phase that someone is going through. Now, of course, for some people, they are something like a phase that they're going through, but we can never accept that answer, and we can't even accept that answer from the person with the eating disorder, not without getting some professional help. So, listening, big deal, hearing what they have to say, engaging with them, but when you're talking about an eating disorder, there's pretty much no way around getting some professional help. We'd love to help you with that at Aletheia. You can go to alethiacounseling.com, ALETHIA, counseling.com, and reach out to us, and we would love to help you find some resources, if not us, then in your area. The patterns in an eating disorder are just very, very powerful, and they're very difficult for someone to break on their own. I would say it's safe to say that in the majority of cases, especially if it's been ongoing for a while, there may be an inpatient or hospitalization segment of the treatment. And so you need to prepare your heart for the challenges ahead, but need to take it seriously. And the professional will help guide you in your individual situation, a counselor or a doctor in your individual situation. And you want to find one who actually does, if not specialize, is at least comfortable and aware of eating disorder issues. So again, I know that is disconcerting. It's scary to hear something like this about your kid or your spouse, but don't panic. People have made it through this. I've seen plenty of people come out on the other side of eating disorders, thriving and healthy. And it is important to keep in mind, the earlier you engage with an eating disorder, the better the chances of long-term success. So don't postpone this. Don't put this off, and trust in the community around you, your doctors, your pastors, your friends. Lean on them to get the help that you need. But don't wait. So listen, don't wait. Reach out and get help. If that professional decides this isn't as big a deal as it looked like it was, that's awesome. But you don't want to make that decision, or certainly not with just you and the person with the eating disorder or the potential eating disorder. Talk to a professional about it. And don't forget to pray. Look to God for strength to walk you through this difficult time. All right, so again, those are just first steps. There's a path ahead of you, but it's going to be great to get someone to walk alongside that path with you. And I hope this helps relieve the tension a little bit and let you know some steps that you can take. You could talk to a pastor or go to a website like Focus on the Family or Psychology Today and look for a good Christian therapist who understands these issues. All right, I hope that helps. It helps you move forward with a little bit of courage. And I look forward to the day when you're able to find freedom on the other side of this. Okay, thanks so much. I hope that helps. Bye.